What is going on at Sony right now? Because apparently Sony is cutting PS4 games from the PlayStation Plus next year in 2024. What does this mean for the support for the PlayStation 4 platform moving forward? Because in the article from IGN, Sony themselves has said that as we shift to the PS5, PS4 games would no longer be a key benefit and will only be occasionally offered for PlayStation Plus monthly games and game catalogs, Sony said. This won't affect the monthly title players have already obtained, though game catalog titles, I quote, will still be available to play until they leave the catalog as part of the monthly refresh. And they continue on to say that we'll continue to evolve the experience of the PlayStation Plus platform and optimize the benefits you receive, including exclusive discounts, online multiplayer access, online game save storage, and more, Sony added. As we shift our focus to the PS5, we look forward to add new PS5 titles monthly for you to enjoy. Now, this is the quote right here that really sticks out the most to a lot of people who have been keeping up with what's been going on with the PlayStation Plus subscription service. Is the fact is that they said we want to shift our focus to the PS5, and this is leading to a lot of people to believe that maybe that this is preparing everybody to know that support for the PS4 is pretty much near coming to the end. It's almost time to put this to rest as far as the PS4 is concerned. I mean, we are already 5 years into the PS5, and I still can't believe that already. We're 5 years into the PS5 already, and we have yet to have that blockbuster title that warrant that crossover to the PS5. And Sony has been heavily relying on the PS4 for these past 5 years since the PlayStation 5 has been released. And we already know, we talked about this before, development costs is through the roof, especially when it comes to AAA gaming. And Sony has been heavily reliant on the PS4 install base. But how long can they hold on to that install base before it starts to really hinder the progression of the PS5, which they're supposed to put a lot of focus on, which they have stated right here? And we've seen this before. That's why Sony had to cut off the PS2 once it gotten well into the PS3. It's because the PS2, previous consoles, tend to hold back a lot of development or what they can do with their current gen. It's because they have to make sure that these games work both on the previous and on their current gen. So hopefully, if they are, and this is a telltale sign of them starting to wean off and cut support for the PS4, hopefully we start to see some type of improvement or some type of momentum as far as not only just development, but also capabilities of what the PS5 can do when it comes to their games. Now that developers no longer have to develop for the PS4 or the PS5 moving forward. Now, I know a lot of you guys, we talked about it on, X, we talked about it on Discord, and even on live streams, that a lot of you guys have been sticking with your PS4 and will continue to stick with your PS4 because a lot of you guys have a backlog of games that you guys are clearly enjoying. And it's funny to see that there's a lot of people who just now bought a PS4 because games are now cheaper that they can buy at discounts, used games, and everything. So now a lot of you guys been stacking up on PS4 games and been currently enjoying them. And I don't blame you guys at all. And we talked about the culture war here on this channel and the current state of how Sony has been conducting their business. A lot of you guys don't like the current state of AAA gaming and what Sony has been doing as far as localization is concerned, as far as censorship. We talked about a lot of those details when it came to Stellar Blade and many other titles that's been going through it and the decisions that Sony has been making. And Sony has been experiencing a total restructure overall. So it's going to be interesting to see now that PS4 is starting to show some signs of maybe starting to lose some of that support as far as games coming over to the platform, and now them focusing on the PS5. It's going to be interesting to see where Sony's going to go from there, especially now that Sony has a new president officially. He's now stepping in to take over the reins, and Sony has been putting emphasis on producing quality over quantity, which that will have to remain to be seen. And now that we have this new CEO and we're starting to see these shift in their business decisions, it seemed like the PS4 and especially with the PlayStation Plus subscription, seems like it's one of those type of restructures as well, as they start to wean off of the PS4. And it's interesting to see what's going to happen here. And also in the article, it also says that it's also unclear if Sony will change the PlayStation games catalog offering to put PS4 games in the classic catalog, which is also an interesting thing. Would they be considered classics at this point? I mean, the PS4 has been out nearly over a decade now, so would they consider to be classics that would fit alongside, you know, the PlayStation 2 and the PS3? And it's kind of crazy to even hear that now that the PS4 has been out this long. The fact is that you can even consider them classics is just weird to say. As I said before, I'll be 38 next month, and I've been around gaming for a very long time in each gaming generation, and I would say by far this generation, especially for Sony, has just not been well for me, well at all as a gamer. This generation in general, no matter if it's Microsoft or no matter if it's Sony. I won't even count Nintendo, because Nintendo is just kicking ass, but I'm more so specifically talking about Microsoft and Sony. Sony in particular for this video is just that this generation has sucked. I think it's one of the worst generations I've ever experienced, you know, my entire life as a gamer. As I said before, I experienced every generation thus far, and this is by far the worst generation. It feels like a filler season of an anime, you know, in my personal opinion. I just think that when it comes to the PlayStation 5 platform and the console itself, I think it came out way earlier than it should have came out. I think it should have stayed cooked in the oven a bit more. And the fact is that we also have a PS5 Pro, and in my personal opinion, the PS5 Pro is not even worth it as well to even take advantage of any of the current games that's out, to experience what the PS5 Pro can actually do. I think it's also a waste of money to even invest in that platform at all. So it's just interesting to see moving forward, and I think we'll probably hear more from Sony, or starting to see more hints and signs as far as the support for the PS4 from Sony themselves. So I definitely want to hear your thoughts in the comment section below. What do you think about, you know, Sony and the PlayStation Plus subscription? What do you think about them slowly cutting out PS4 games, and the question of whether or not will these be considered classics that would go alongside the PlayStation 2, and PlayStation 3 games that's in these classic catalogs as well? Definitely need your thoughts. And if you have a PS4, will you make that jump over to PS5, knowing or seeing that the signs is pretty much on the wall as far as support of the PS4? What are your thoughts on this? Definitely need your thoughts in the comment section below. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe button for more gaming content here on this channel. This is Mugen Lord signing off. I'll see you game fiends later. Peace out.